Hello and welcome to the Moonshine Stitches podcast. My name is Sydney and I am a knitter slash crocheter from Northeast Pennsylvania, and this is a YouTube channel where I talk about the things I've been working on in the past, however long it's been since the last time I recorded. I think it might have been before the new year, unfortunately. Or maybe, did I have one like right after New Year? I'm not sure. It's been a while. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's been a rough winter and we're gonna leave it at that. But I am back now with a plethora of new projects. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to seeing anything I was working on before our little hiatus here. Those have all either been finished and gifted or frogged, and I was getting too much like anxiety about recording something new to go back and watch what I talked about last time, so we're not gonna like get into it. Sorry. Yeah, so here we are. It is April 18th, 2026, and let's get into it. I do have one finished object. It's been a very slow beginning of the year. Like, I finished a few things in January and February that we're not going to talk about. And then March, I did absolutely nothing. I maybe knit like a little tiny bit on one of the projects I'm going to show you, but like, I don't know. March feels like a blur. I don't know what happened in March, but I do have one finished object, a good one, like big finished object to show you. And it is something you've seen in the past, and it is my, how am I going to show this? I'm going to have to insert footage of the whole thing, but this is my over the garden wall throw blanket. Let's see, it's really big. Not huge, like it's lap blanket size, but it's big for where we are right now. I'm not sure how much you could see of that, but like I said, I will insert some footage of it in all of its glory, and I'll record that after we're done here. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is just your standard granny square blanket. I did a little like very tiny scalloped border on the edge here. I'm not even sure if you could see that, but it's cute. It's like a little frill. Sorry for the interruption. I had to go let my dog back inside because I forgot I let him outside before I began recording. I was just about to talk about the yarn in our over the garden wall blanket here. The colored squares, all of the colored squares, there are 12 total. These were from a Halloween countdown, like a 13-day Halloween countdown from Teeny Button Studio, based around Over the Garden Wall. I think I got it in 2021 and made all the squares as I opened them. I got like 4 out of each mini skein. And then they sat for like 5 years or like 4.5 years. Let me tell you the names of these beautiful colors. I have a cheat sheet over here if I can't remember them. The first is potatoes and molasses. And then we have, is this the front or the back? That's the front. You're seeing the front. Not that it matters. Frog O' Mine, Beatrice, Don Your Gourds, The Highwayman, Quincy Endicott, let me look, Lullaby in Frogland, Burgle Your Turts, we have Anti-Whispers, what's this one? Beware the Beast, Edelwood, and Keep the Lantern Lit. And that's all of them. The in-between color is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the colorway Welly's Heather. I used almost 8 skeins. I have like 16 grams left from the 8th skein. So it ate up a lot of yarn. And if there's anything this project taught me is that, like, I can't afford to be making fingering weight blankets out of, first of all, hand-dyed yarn, or like fingering weight in general. This is a really good like lap blanket size, especially for these warmer months. Like, as it's getting hot out now, my house is heating up, so, you know, wearing shorts and skirts and whatever, and it's nice for at nighttime to cover up my little leggies. But when I try to like curl up under it at night, it's just like a little bit too small. Like, I wish it was maybe a little wider, but like I just said, making fingering weight blankets is extremely expensive. Like, the countdown alone, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it was probably around $150 plus the 8 skeins of like in between color. I think Stroll right now might be like $6.99, and I'm not going to do math on camera, but that's not like a small chunk of money there. But you know, it's stuff I had in my stash to begin with, so I feel like I don't feel bad about using it because it was sitting there. But I don't think I would purchase yarn, fingering weight yarn, specifically to make a blanket. Scraps are another story. Like, I didn't bring it over here, but I'm working on a jelly roll blanket, like a crochet jelly roll out of like little bits and bobs I have left over, but I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. All I'm saying is it's not an inexpensive item to make, and I'm not sure if I would do it again, even though I absolutely love this. This is great. It is, I'm gonna say it again, it is the perfect size for your lap, to wrap around your shoulders. Like, I took it out on the porch the other night to watch a thunderstorm before it got too windy, and I was getting soaked sitting on the porch. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. I used a D hook. I think that's a 3.25. And that's it. That is the only thing I have completed in the past like 2.5 months. Oy. But it's a big one. It's a big one. It was a lot of work. So we could get into works in progress now. Everything you are about to see is brand new. I've never shown on the podcast because I just started them. We'll do socks first. I have in this bag almost one full sock. I am ready for the toe. I actually I want to rip back this little orange here and just do it with the toe color so I don't have like one blip of orange down here. But these are the Hello Pumpkin Socks by Sock Witchery. The yarn I am using is Nomadic Yarns Trusty Sock. That is their 75/25 merino nylon base in the colorway Halloweentown. And it is extremely cute. The heel and toe, well, toe will be, heel is Nippic Stroll in the colorway Midnight Heather. And it's a very beautiful dark blue. I'm not sure how well it's showing up on camera, but I like it. It's very pretty. And yeah, I cast on 64 stitches, did 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing before going into the pattern, which is very fun and very squishy. I love it. And yeah, that's it. I'm almost done. I'm ready for the toe. I'll probably work on this at knit night on Monday because I want to focus the weekend on my big project that has a deadline in like 6 days. But these are a good sit knit chat sock. Oh, needles are a size 1, 1.25 or 2.25 millimeters. Little 9-inch circulars, as always. Yeah, not much to say about that. Not much to say about the next sock either, but this is almost ready for a heel too. I'm like at a junction with both of these socks. Like I have to put in thought for the toe and thought for this heel because I want to do a heel flap and gusset. Oh, I should tell you what heel I did for this sock. Dadoy. I am using my regular shadow wrap heel and I learned this through a tutorial from Earth Tones Girl on YouTube. I will link that down below with everything else, like yarns and patterns and social media and whatnot. This sock, however, I would like to do a heel flapping gusset, even though I really, really, really don't want to. But I think it will fit my husband a lot better than like a short row heel. Anyway, these socks are going to be for my husband. This is Lang Yarn Super Socks, silk, in the colorway Monday. Reminds me of like an abalone or abalone shell. So pretty. And this has 55% wool, 25% nylon, 20% silk. I cast on 72 stitches, and this is my like watching TV sock. So you just go round and round and round and round and round until now when I have to start a freaking heel flap and gusset. I have only knit 2 socks with a heel flap and gusset before like I realized that I hate it a lot. But I am willing to make the sacrifice for him because he deserves it. Have this in a little bag. Little like, I think this is supposed to be like a toiletry bag I got from this little like novelty store down the street from me. The woman who owns the store does like a ton of these cute little like quilted bags. And I loved this one. She posted it on Instagram and I was able to just like right away walk down the street and get it. So cute. I have a bunch of bags from her. This little like basket is from them too. If you're ever in like northeastern Pennsylvania, it's Alley Crafts in Kingston. and they're very cute. They have a lot of like adorable stuff, and like there's a little cafe inside. Anyway, my last work in progress is the one that's been getting the most attention recently, but should have been getting the most attention weeks ago. What's wrong, puppy? Go lay down, it's okay. What do you see out there, birds? Yeah. All right, go lay down. Yes. It should have been getting a lot more attention before now, because I am making this top. It's in an awkward place to like kind of show off, but I'm going to do the best I can. I'm making this top, the Mount Pleasant Tee by Megan Nodecker, for the To Wear To, the Fiber Witch Festival in Salem, Massachusetts, which is happening this upcoming weekend, April 25th and 6th. And we're going. And I really wanted to make something new to wear there. And I started it in February. I think I cast on my birthday. And I was like, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to finish it like that. But then I got into such a knitting rut, or yarn rut in general. I didn't touch anything except for like that blanket for like months, dude. And this just got shoved in. I finished the lace. The lace was so much fun to do. The bottom half is blocked because I wanted to see how it would fit, because I started, okay, I had a false start. I did all of the lace, and then like maybe 3 inches of like the stockinette and the round. And I was like, this feels a little bit big. And I wanted it to be slightly bigger than what is suggested, because I'm not a big fan of like very form-fitting things at the moment. That's just the style I like. So I was making it a little bit bigger. I was doing like 1 size larger than what I should have been, if that makes sense. But even though I did a very like extensive swatch, my gauge was coming out gigantic, and I don't know why. So I ripped it all out and started again with like 1 needle size smaller for both the lace and the stockinette. And I went down a size in the pattern, and it is now perfect. It is exactly the way I want it to fit. I have finished the front up to the shoulders. You can see like the neck shaping there. And now I'm working on 6 inches in stockinette on the back. I've done maybe like 3, I don't know, 3-ish. That feels right. So I have 3.5 more inches to do. And then a little bit of neck shaping on the back. And then the like little, I think it's just like a couple rounds of ribbing for the sleeves. And then it'll be done. But I really, really gotta finish it, because not only does it need to be finished, it needs to be blocked. And God knows how long things are gonna dry with it so like humid already. Well, it's supposed to cool down this week actually, so maybe we'll be in the clear with that, and it won't take as long to block, sorry. Because in the summer, like, I could lay something out and it will be there for like 3 days because it's so freaking humid. What happened here? Okay, let's talk about the yarn. I have this on like 2 separate sets of 4-inch needles because I didn't want to put these on holders for some reason. So I just happened to have like a fixed set of 4 inches. And oh, look at this. I got these little stitch stoppers from my local yarn store. I don't usually get drawn in by like the little novelty stitch stoppers. Like I use these little guys mostly, but I could not leave without taking Kermit with me. So cute. Anyway, the yarn I am using is Dragon Horde yarn. Let me see if I have, well, of course I have a ball. This is all I have left, so better be enough. This is the colorway Not All Witches Live in Salem, which I thought was pretty apt for the festival, by Dragon Horde Yarn on her lore base. It's the 85% merino, 15% nylon. And it's very pretty. I did switch skeins all the way up to the neck shaping, and then I did one ball. And the lace is all one. I didn't switch for that, obviously. But then I did like helical knitting in the round, and then I ran out of one ball. So from like here up is all one ball, and I think you could tell it's a little bit darker than when I was switching skeins, but it's on the back. Nobody's gonna notice. It's fine. But yeah, I am hoping to get most of the back done today, and then maybe finish it up tomorrow, and then block it, and then I don't have to think about it the rest of the week. But we'll see how that goes. Life is busy, and then by the time I have like the time to sit down at night and actually like focus, I'm like literally falling asleep knitting, which isn't great, especially for things I need to like use brain power on. Not that knitting flat back and forth takes a lot of brain power, but like, you know what I mean. Whew. It's getting warm in here. It's been fairly hot this week, like in the upper 80s. Today's only supposed to get up to like 70 something, but I'm still like, I'm heating up. Anyway, that is all of the like yarn I have to show you, all of the projects I need to show you. Goals for this week are obviously finish the Mount Pleasant tea and prep for the Fiber Witch Festival. I'm going to talk about that for a little bit because I am so excited. This will be the third time I have been to Salem, Massachusetts, not for the Fiber Witch Festival. I went once in 2019 with my mom. We went in October for like Halloween, not for Halloween, like a couple weeks earlier, and that was great, but like cuckoo bananas busy, obviously. And then our family went, me, my two oldest children, and my mom. We went for Mother's Day in 2022 well, obviously Mother's Day in the spring. And that was great. It wasn't super busy. We were still kind of like coming down from like COVID regulations. So like we wore masks everywhere, but it was so nice. It wasn't busy. It was like nice and cool still. So like you weren't sweating, but yeah, very, very nice. So this weekend, I'm expecting it to be a little bit busier because not only is there the Fiber Witch Festival all weekend, they are also doing like a pirate fest, which is really cool. I think the kids will really like that. This will be my youngest's first time because she was not alive last time we went, obviously. But yeah, it should be a really, really great time. I'll be off doing stuff with like the Yarn Fest for a little bit, like here and there throughout the weekend. But yeah, we're going Saturday through Monday, and it should be great. I'm very, very excited. I do have like a couple like projects I have in mind going into the festival. Um, I'll talk a little bit about those because I am on like, believe it or not, I didn't talk about this at the beginning of the year. I meant to make a video, but again, the horrors of winter took over and I went catatonic for a while. Um, but one of my big goals this year was to not eliminate, but use a lot of my stash and not bring as much in. And so far this year, I've been very good, like mostly because I knew I was going to be going to the Fiber Witch Festival. So I was like, that's going to be basically my yarn budget for the year. But yeah, I don't want to go in blind and just be overwhelmed by the choices, I guess. So I have a couple projects in mind that I know I want to make and I know I'd like to like look for yarn for. The first is the Dreamer Cardigan by Tori Yu. This takes, for me at least, about 5 skeins of boucle DK yarn. So I'm not sure how many vendors will have boucle yarn, but it's just something I'm keeping an eye out for and would really, really like to make. The second is the Oporto Tee by Suzanne Summer. This is a striped tee, like vertical stripes, worked sideways from like end to end, and then it buttons on the sides, and it's so pretty. The like original sample is in like this really pretty like honey gold and white, and that's not quite what I'm looking for. Probably something a little bit darker, but I think that would be really pretty. So I'd need 2 skeins of 2 different colors, preferably like solids, and if I could find something with like a little linen or cotton in it, that would be ideal. But I think like a regular fingering weight would be fine, like a merino, nylon, whatever. The third I would like to look for yarn for is the Honey Petal Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. This just came out and it is like my dream cardigan. It is gorgeous. I'm sure you've seen it. It's probably all over Ravelry right now, but I'd need like a base color and then 2 different contrast colors for the stripes. And I do have an idea of what I would like to get. Lamb Strings yarn will be there, and I'm really, fingers crossed, really hoping they will have their Cori spun base available, and that's like a non superwash Coriadale fingering weight, whatever. But yeah, I'm hoping that will be available and I could put something together. And those are the 3 like large projects I will be looking for and am excited to share what I get, because I don't know, I'm feeling a more, what am I trying to say here? When I look at my handmade wardrobe, there's a lot that doesn't really fit me anymore after children. Things that are like a bit too small or fit like wonky in places. And I'd really like to add to my handmade wardrobe things that fit me and will continue to fit me through stages of life, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm also so excited to just like be in Salem in general. I have my son especially. He is like very into ghost hunting. He he has like a backpack full of ghost hunting equipment he's already like put aside to bring with us. We're staying at the Hawthorne Hotel, which is supposed to be a little ghostly. And I booked us like a nighttime ghost tour, and it'll be very, very cool. It's exciting going later in life now. Like 4 years ago, my middle daughter was like 4.5 years old. So I feel like she'll be able to appreciate a lot of it more. Same with my son. He's almost 13 now. And my youngest is 2.5, so she'll just be happy doing anything, really. But yeah, maybe I'll make a little like vlog or something. I've never vlogged before, but maybe I could figure out something with that, and I could do a little weekend vlog for the Fiber Witch Festival. That would be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I'm not sure how much longer I have to myself here, and I gotta get some stuff done. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the 3-month gap in videos. We'll be a little more consistent over the summer and whatever. But yeah, have a great couple weeks, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.